Hiya! I feel like it's literally been ages since I last filmed a video. It's like 2 weeks ago, which isn't that long, but it feels like ages. So I'm back with another haul because in January I did so much shopping and the only way I can justify it is by putting it in a video and making a haul video to make myself feel better that I've spent this much money. I started off the month thinking I'm not going to look at the sales, I'm not going to shop that much, but I got my first full paycheck from my new job and I was just like, do you know what, I'm going to treat myself. So I bought quite a lot of stuff in January and then sort of feeding again into the start of February a bit. Not as much in February, but I spent a lot of money in January basically, towards like the mid to the end of the month. So this may take a while, so I don't know how long this is going to take me to edit down, but you might be here for the long run. So settle in. I don't even really know where to begin with this really, so I'm just going to start with something I didn't actually buy myself. It was something my mum picked up for me and it is a cookbook and it is the Jamie Oliver's comfort food. So there is the sleeve, out the sleeve, and there's with the sleeve. And one of my friends got this over Christmas and she was raving about it, and I've started watching Jamie Oliver's Friday Night Feast and really enjoying it. So I really like the look of this cookbook and it's all types of food, just really like hearty meals, and the pictures in it are really nice and make you want to make the stuff. But yeah, it just looked like a really nice cookbook. So I haven't actually done anything with this because it is like weekend feasting food. You have to put a lot of time and effort into it. But yeah, everything in here looks really nice. So even though I haven't made anything from it, I would recommend it because it is a really nice cookbook. I don't really wear that much jewellery. I own quite a few rings and stuff and necklaces and a lot of bracelets, but I don't really wear bracelets that much anymore. But the thing that I do often put on is a necklace, and I decided I wanted a couple of different type ones because I've got a lot of really similar ones. So I picked up two from ASOS, and this one is going to kind of be hard to show. It's just a really small, small chain, like a choker style, with this tiny little pearl ball on it, and I just thought it was really simple and really nice. I also quite like the look of like the double layer necklace, so I picked up one of those as well. And the one I've kind of got these, it's gold and it's got these little discs with like perforated bits in it, and so it's like a long one and a shorter one. And yeah, so I've got two necklaces. As I'm now working in an office and you can dress how you want kind of, but not, obviously you've got to dress kind of smart, so I decided that I wanted to get some sort of smart trousers because I don't really own any smart trousers that are me, rather than just plain black officey wear. So I got a couple of trousers this month, like tailored styles, that I can wear to work, but that's my justification for it anyway. The first are a pair from H&M and they were in the sale for £10, and they are these tartan numbers, so just like tailored full-length trousers. I did have to shorten them because they bunched up around my ankles because I've got short legs, but I really like them, and for £10 they were an absolute bargain. I have actually worn these in a blog post, so I'll link that below if you want to see what they look like on. I picked up a pair from ASOS as well, and they are these green pair, so again just like quite tailored trousers. Again, I had to shorten them because my legs are too short, and I hate the look of bunched up trousers around my ankles. I think it looks really messy, so I seem to always have to shorten trousers. But yeah, just another, they're kind of like a crepey material, and these weren't in the sale. I can't remember how much these were, but they weren't too expensive. I will link them below if they're still on the website. Now those are bottle green, and I also picked up a sort of khaki green pair from Topshop, so they are different definitely, but again kind of similar. These are quite a bit shorter, they sit sort of like mid calf length on me, so I didn't have to shorten these ones, but they were a bit more expensive. I think they were like 38 or something. If they're still on the website I will link these, but yeah, just another pair of tailored trousers. And finally for trousers, I think, unless I find any else in the carry bags to my left, but the last pair I think are these from River Island, and again these are in the sale. I think they were £15, I think, and they're just like a navy blue sort of pinstripe. They're high-waisted and they come with a little belt, and they're kind of like baggy around your hips. They're not really tight, which is quite nice because they're kind of officey but they're not too like tight or anything. So yeah, so that makes 4 pairs of tailored trousers. Like many people at the moment, I've got a bit of the denim, like 70s denim type fever going on. So on Miss Selfridge, they had a 20% off thing. I think it was like Grazia or something like that. And I saw 2 denim dresses on their emails. Emails seriously get me because if I see a nice picture on email, I'm like, oh, I really want that. So good job marketing people at Miss Selfridge, because I saw this dress on an email, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on an email, and one of them's definitely on email. But I picked up 2 denim. I'm seriously waffling, aren't I? Anyway, I picked up 2 denim dresses. A lot of people have this first one, and it is the like shirt dress. It's kind of like the Alexa Chung, whatever collaboration she's done recently. It's kind of like that, so it's like button down and then it has this belt, and I don't know what is wrong with me, but it's a D-ring belt, and I had a complete mind blank. I actually had to YouTube search how to tie a D-ring belt because I'm really dumb. I know how to do it. Once I saw it, I was like, oh, of course that's how you do it, but I had a complete mind blank, and I was sitting there thinking, how do I do this belt up? And I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. Anyway, this dress is just like quite a thin denim, and yeah, it's really nice. It's got 3/4 length sleeves, and yeah, it's great. The second Miss Selfridge dress was definitely on an email, and I loved what it looked like, so I bought it. And it is this sort of like shift, like quite straight dress. It's got 2 patch pockets on the front, and it's got, again, 3/4 length sleeves. It's just like a straight shape really, and like a zip at the back to do it up, and it's a bit thicker denim, that one. So if either of those are still in stock, I will link them below, and I don't have them in blog post yet, but when I do, I will link them below. So check back in a little while, or like a week or so, I don't know, whenever, just check back and there may be blog posts attached. When I was on ASOS, I picked up quite a few things, and I had a bit of a browse in the sale, and this is something that caught my eye in the sale that I wouldn't normally go for, but because it was only £9.50, I thought, oh, I'll try it. If I don't like it, I'll send it back. And I actually really like it. It's this sort of check gingham, navy blue and white sleeveless top. It's quite, I don't know what material it is. It's kind of like a crepe, but I don't know. Don't really know what kind of material it is, but it's got like a zip at the back, and it's just high neck, and I just really liked it. It's a really straight shape. It's not something I'd normally go for, but because it was in the sale, I went for it, and I did well because I actually really like that. The next thing is something I mentioned to my mum for Christmas, but I didn't get it for Christmas, and I had a voucher still waiting around after Christmas, so I thought, do you know what, I'll spend it on that dress because I did really like it. And it is this kind of turtleneck. I wore it in my last video, my TMI tag. And it's sort of like this, I described it in my last video, but it's sort of like a black and white flecked, I don't know, I did textiles, I should know what these things are, but it's kind of like got this loopy texture with the yarns, I don't know. It's long sleeves, and it's like a swing dress, and it's just a really nice, comfy, autumn wintry dress. So yeah, not much else I can say on that one. At the weekend I popped into Primark, and I haven't been in there for ages because there's not one in the town where I live, so I'd have to go sort of like half an hour away to get to one, so I haven't been to one recently, and I could have bought so much, but I restrained myself and I only picked up 1 t-shirt, and it is just a Sons of Anarchy, because I'm a big fan of Sons of Anarchy now, t-shirt. They did have other stuff, they had a lot of Harry Potter stuff, but none of it really took my fancy that much because I thought this Sons of Anarchy, I don't really have anything to do with that yet. So I think it was only like £6, but yeah, I just thought it was like a nice casual t-shirt to go with anything really. If you live in the UK, I don't know if anyone else remembers this TV channel. It was called Trouble. It was on like cable TV, and it had sort of stuff like That 70s Show and My Wife and Kids and One on One, stuff like that, and I absolutely loved it. And one of the shows I used to watch on there is 2 Guys, a Girl and a Pizza Place. I already have series 1 and 2 on DVD, and I decided to just get season 3 because it had been on my Amazon wish list for ages, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to get it. It's only £9, and I just think this show is hilarious. It's really like silly but just hilarious, and it's got Ryan Reynolds in it, so it's great. And yeah, so if you haven't seen Two Guys, a Girl and a Pizza Place and you like just silly sitcom things, then you might enjoy this. So try and give it a watch if you can find it anywhere, or just buy the DVD. If you watched my What I Got for Christmas video, you'll know that I got 5 pots of Whittard's white hot chocolate for Christmas because I'm obsessed with it. And at the weekend I was in Southampton and I went to the Whittard shop, and I was just the only one in the shop, just having a little browse, and the guy said to me, oh, did you want to try one of our testers today? We've got, well, one of them was creme brulee white hot chocolate. And I thought, oh okay, I'll give that a go. And I tasted it and it was amazing. Literally amazing. So I thought, okay, I've got to buy that. So I went over to the hot chocolate area and I picked up the creme brulee hot chocolate, and it says indulge in the sumptuous flavours of vanilla and caramel. And I'm not joking, this is immense. Like, the best hot chocolate you've ever tasted in your life. Whittard. I so want to try all the other flavours they've got. They've got loads of dark ones, and they've got a chilli one if you like chilli stuff. They've just got the most amazing range of hot chocolates. So I got this, and then because I was there, I was just like, okay, maybe I should get 2 because I'm not here often, so maybe I'll get another one. So I got the Banoffee because I'm obsessed with Banoffee things. So this one says inspired by creamy banana and toffee flavours. So I haven't tried this one, but I'm assuming it's going to be amazing because it's Whittard and they're all amazing. And they were £5.50 each, so I spent £11 on hot chocolate. But if you think about it, in Starbucks you'd probably pay about £3, and so £11 would get you like 3 and a bit hot chocolates. These are going to get me way more hot chocolates than that, so I don't care. I spent £11 hot chocolate and it's going to be great. I love a good slogan sweatshirt, t-shirt, that kind of thing. So I picked up a couple this month or last month or whatever, and the first one I'm a bit unsure how I feel about it because I saw it on Instagram, and as we know, if you watch my channel, then I make a lot of my purchases because of Instagram. It's a dangerous place for me to be. And I saw it and I thought, oh, that looks great. And then I saw this thing and it said free delivery, free international delivery until like the end of the month or something. And then it said 20% off this particular jumper that I wanted. And I was like, oh my god, I'll totally buy it, it'll be amazing. It's because it was going to be like, I don't know, £10–15 postage to England, and because it's from America, and then it said 20% off, so that made it like 25 instead of like 35 or 40 or something. But basically I was lured in by deals and Instagram, and I ordered it, and then it took ages to arrive. It literally took a month from the date I ordered it to actually arrive to me. So I was a bit unsure, thinking, is it actually going to come, is it not going to come? And then when it arrived, there were £13 import duties, and I was totally unaware of this and got really annoyed about it because the jumper that I thought was going to be £25 then cost me like £38, which I wasn't happy about, but I like the jumper, so I'm going to let it go. The only thing that annoys me is that the company didn't reply to my tweets about like where my parcel was, or like being annoyed about like the import duties that weren't mentioned. So I'm going to let that go, but not great customer service. So maybe don't buy this jumper, or maybe do if you really like it that much. But it is this it is this jumper that says, I wish I was an Olsen. And basically I spent a lot of my childhood wearing Mary-Kate and Ashley clothes from Asda, and watching Mary-Kate and Ashley TV shows and movies, and getting my hair cut like them. So this is basically my life. So I had to buy it, and I'm pleased with my purchase even though it cost me £38. That is the end of my long ass story. The second jumper I picked up this weekend, and it's my life in a jumper, so I had to buy it. It's from New Look, and it says to-do list, make more to-do lists, or make new to-do lists, because that is what I do. I spend my whole life making to-do lists, so I bought it because that's my life. I also have another sweatshirt. It's not quite a slogan sweatshirt, but it's again a sweatshirt, and it is from H&M in the sale, so it was £7, and I just quite liked the print on it, and it's this grey one, and it says Le Nouveau Noir, and it's just grey and blue, and I really like the combination of grey and blue, and for £7 I couldn't really go wrong. Again, if you watch a lot of my hauls, I feel like I repeat myself all the time, but H&M, they had the cardigan in a new colour, so I bought it. So I've got this pale blue one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically I own this cardigan in about 6 colours now, and I spotted that they have a navy blue one at the weekend and I didn't buy it, and now I'm kind of regretting it because they're my favourite cardigans in the world. But yeah, so I bought another of the H&M cardigans. I also picked up another cardigan from H&M, not the same as those ones, I branched out a bit, and it is this sort of, it's really long, so I'm not going to be able to show you, but it basically comes to sort of like my mid-calf, and I'm 5'4", so if you're taller than me then it'll be shorter than that, if you're shorter than me then it'll be longer than that. But it's this really like fine knit pale grey. The sleeves are kind of 3/4 length, they don't quite reach my wrist. And it's just a really long cardigan, and I've been on the hunt for one of these for ages, and there's one that I've had on my ASOS saved items for ages, and it's like £60, and I can't really justify that on a cardigan. So this one was £14.99, so I thought this one will do nicely. So again, I'm hoping to have this in a blog post soon, so once it is in a blog post I'll add the link below. Going back to my little spree on ASOS, a couple more things that I bought. The first is this. Well, not the first, because I've already shown you lots of things from ASOS, but another thing is this. This was in the sale, and it's a midi skirt because, as I said in my 2014 favourites, I quite like midi skirts now. And this one is sort of like a chiffony pink and white check with pleats, and I just thought it was really nice. And I think, I can't remember the exact prices, but these were like between £8 and £11 I think, so they weren't expensive at all in the sale. I just thought this was a really nice one for summer. I don't own much yellow, but this one really caught my eye, and it's like a jersey, just like stretch waistband, midi skirt again from ASOS. So yeah, just midi skirt length, sunshiny yellow, and I think this was like £8 or something ridiculous, £9. So yeah, another midi skirt for my collection, so that'll be nice again in the summer. The final thing from ASOS is this like jacket thing. I didn't expect it to be kind of sheer, but it is. I still like it anyway, and it's just sort of like a long blazer type thing, and it's got this satin collar on it. And yeah, it's just got like long sleeves, and it's quite relatively long, but again, I haven't put it in a blog post yet, but I hopefully will soon, so check back, and that should be a link in the description box in like a week, 2 weeks. And yeah, so this was again in the sale. I think this was £20 instead of like 30 or 40 or something, but I'd wanted it for ages, and then when it was in the sale I thought, you know, I'm just going to buy it now. And yeah, so it's just a nice thing to just chuck on and like make like an outfit look a bit smarter for work, or dress down like a really partyish outfit. I just think it'll work for a lot of different things really. This next thing has actually featured on my blog, and it is another thing that my mum picked up for me, and it is this little denim collar. I already own a white shirt one, and I really like the look of the white like broderie anglais one. And my mum was texting me saying, oh, do you like the denim collars in River Island, have you seen them? And I said, oh yeah, I really like them. And then when I came home, she bought one for me really nicely as a little treat. So I think it's like £10 this one, and it's just, again, you pop it under a shirt, not a shirt, because this is supposed to be a shirt. You pop it under like a jumper, or I popped it under a t-shirt just to add like a little feature of a collar. And yeah, I just think they're really useful and they can be used. I've worn my white one over an outfit before to make it look like a bib. Not like a weird bib, but you know, like in Peter Pan, the dad has that really long bib. I kind of imagined it would be like that. Anyway, I don't know if waffle. And yeah, so I really like these collars, and I would actually quite like to get the broderie anglais one because that one's really nice. If you know me or you've watched my videos for a while, you know a haul from me wouldn't be complete properly without some shoes, and my shopping experience would not be complete without shoes. So obviously I bought a couple of pairs of shoes in the last few weeks. The first pair are a pair from Office, and I was just browsing through the sale and through the things they had in my size, and I spotted these, and they were 120 down to 32, and I wouldn't normally go for these, but I thought actually they're quite nice. They're a bit different for me, and they are these. They've got some kind of name, but they're by Poste Mistress, and for that amount of discount I was amazed. And they're basically just a white shoe with a woodenish heel, and then the top strap is like a rose goldy colour, and I did have to make an extra hole because they've got 2 holes up here if you've got small ankles, but then they didn't have 2 straps on this bit, and I've got really skinny feet, so this was like flapping around miles away from my foot, so I made a little extra hole for me to make them a bit tighter on my feet. I feel like everything I have to adjust because I'm not normal sized apparently. But yeah, I really like these. They're a bit different for me, and I've worn them a couple of times and they're actually quite comfortable. Once again, we find ourselves at a purchase that was made purely because of Instagram. A girl that I follow, she used to have a blog, but she doesn't post on it that much anymore. On Instagram, she's posting all the time. Her name is Missy Els on Instagram, so I'll link her below. But I want to buy so much from her Instagram account. And I spotted a pair of shoes, and someone had put in the comments, I think, that they were from Topshop, and they said, oh, they were £35 or whatever. And then when I went on there, they were £15, and I thought, I'll buy them. So they are these. They're a bit more like partyish going out, and they're really strappy and just like black patent, and they should have been £50, so down to 15. That was another good bargain in the sales, so not as easy to wear all the time, but I really like these. The only thing again is the straps are kind of a bit loose on me because I've got really skinny feet, but other than that I love them. Again, if you watch my videos, you'll know I like trainers, and you'll know that I often can't decide what colour I like things in, or I like to own things in a lot of colours. So I popped into my local Nike outlet, and I had no intention of buying anything, and then I spotted a couple of pairs of trainers that I'd had sort of like my eye on that type of trainer for ages, but hadn't liked anything that I'd seen. And I saw these trainers and I was like, I don't know which pair I prefer, so I'm going to buy both. They are like Wedge dunks, I think that's what they're called. And this is the black pair that I bought. So they're basically like Wedge high top trainers, and I don't know if you can see this, but they've got kind of like a zigzag print on them, and then this like white strip on the sole, and I just really like them. So they're the first pair that I picked up. The second pair that I picked up are these khaki green ones, and they don't have any print on them, but they're just like leather and suede, and I just really like these as well, so I bought these as well. But yeah, I love trainers, and these should have been, how much should they have been? £90. They should have been £90 and they were 60, and then I got a bit of discounts, so they were like 55-ish each, and yeah, I just really like them, and I've wanted a pair for ages, so I'm not sorry. That is everything that I can remember that I've bought since the beginning of the year. There may be other things, but we'll never know. But yeah, that's quite a lot of stuff for me in 1 month-ish. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed looking at all the stuff that I've bought and having a little nosy. I've really enjoyed justifying that I've bought this much stuff by making a video. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you're not already subscribed, then if you would subscribe, that would be amazing, and I'd be eternally grateful. And if you are already subscribed, then thank you very much, and thanks for sticking around and continuing to watch my little rambly videos. And yes, so hopefully I will see you in my next one.